Okay, welcome to Echotraders. Trade we're looking at here on CL this morning. It's Monday. If our EMA holds here, the blue line holds as divergence, we're looking at targets down to 38.21. So it's about a 50 tick move right now to the downside. If the EMA, the blue line here, gives way here, and this area right here, so 38.70 holds, we'll look for their upper targets up to 39.43. The market has produced down in here to the 50 area, which we were looking at. We'll go to the 30-minute chart to see that. Pop that over here. And this here was our target this morning, 38.51. The market came down to the 49. So we'll see if the EMA can hold, and we'll drive her down to farther targets to the downside. Come back and keep you posted. My name's Dale Elliott with Echotraders. Okay, here the chart on the left is our CL chart, and we're going to come back to that chart here. If I can get this here open. There we go. So here's our targets down here. We were talking about if the EMA can hold as resistance, that there's, when you look left, there is no support left to go, so it's wide open space here to the downside, and our target here is 38.21, and I'm just going to show you the next target beyond that. So whoops, if I can get this here to move up the hill here. So it's 38 even. The market likes nice round numbers. That's a beautiful target to aim for, and it does not mean that it'll get there. It does not mean it'll stop once it does. We're looking for this year. This year was a pullback, and the momentum is definitely to the downside, although there was quite a scramble here by institutions and so on to have that market hold here. It did not. So some people are hurting big time this morning. We'll come back when we get to our next targets. So we'll take a look at your CL here again. I get a hold of that chart there. It's chart on the left. And what we're looking at is the target of 38.21, but we're not taking money off here. We're locking it in, and we're in the pecking order for down here. We've mentioned this here before, and we're just going to show you that target again. Now, of course, 38.21 is normally we normally take money at our 76.4. We showed this here less than a month ago on a recording that we're not going to take it here this time. We're going to take it at 38. We're just locking in. You're going to manage this year trade because we're using the extension fibs on this year particular move, and we're looking for a lot more than this, but it comes in stages. So normally it's our 76. That's for our retracement. So these are extension fibs. So we aim for the black 100, and that's the way it is. So we're not going to change that. We try to remain consistent, and we want to see the retest of 38.34. This is the body of the candle at there where you put the crosshair. So the 38.34, that is retested. It will get retested again this morning, probably within probably within a half an hour. We'll see if the market can press on to 38.00 and beyond, but it should stumble here, and that's why we're going to take it. We'll be extended away from our EMA, and we'll look for the pullback to the 61 to put that money back on after we take it off. So let's see if we can get down there. All right, here we are, almost at target. There it is, 38, nice round number. We'll see if we can hang on for some more, but we, instead of taking our money at 38.21, we have that extra 21 ticks today. And we'll see if we can get down to our farther targets. Did we show you all the targets? Let's just drop it in here. And this is what we're really aiming for, but it's a fair straight stretch. Won't likely be a straight line, but it does look like a sea of red. So as long as you lock in this year money or have taken some of it out, and we'll look for the pullback to roughly here to grab that EMA. So if you took your money at 38 instead of 21, you have now added $210 extra to that trade. Okay, here we are. It is now 10:43 Eastern time. The market did come back up into the 38.21 area, and we're looking for 38.34. We'll see if the market can get up into that area and maybe even beyond. So as long as you took some of your position off at 38 and you've had a very successful morning today. So hang on to the idea of putting that money back into the market at resistance. So we'll come back and we'll show you where that is. Okay, welcome back. We had mentioned we would show resistance when we came back. It is now 11:58 live time. What we want to do is show the resistance area up here on the left, resistance here in red has dropped, and resistance here has held. We would now like to see the red dash line, which we had mentioned in the room probably about a half an hour, a little more. We want to see that hold as our new resistance. The market has put in a temporary support area here, and I'm just going to use this to demonstrate our support area. Whoop, excuse me, I'll grab my other mouse. And I'll grab this here. Sorry about that. Took up valuable time there. And this here area here, their target at 38.00. And this here will mark this here down right here to the very bottom here. We'd like to see the market. This is a support area. We'd like to see this here become just a temporary support and to continue down to our next targets down. You can see our next target to the downside is 37.76 and beyond. However, the market is having trouble breaking down through this here little support area. We do not want to see a pullback up to this resistance. Just to continue to the EMA here would be fine. We'll see what we get. We'll come back and keep you updated. We're looking for 37.76 in our quest. I'll move the whole chart up. Our quest to 37.45 today. See if we can get it. Okay, let's take a little look at the CL. It's now almost 24 minutes after 12. The live clock is running on the left-hand side of your screen, bottom left. What we have here is we had mentioned we'd have our resistance lines in here. So we do have our resistance areas, and we had just mentioned only moments ago on the recording, but you realize there's a time lapse in there, that the market, we had mentioned, has put in this year support area. So the market is walking us sideways between our EMA as moving average resistance to the downside, our MACD indicating look for support. So we found support. Now one or the other has to give way to support, has to give way to resistance, or resistance has to give way to support. The last time we spoke, over a half an hour ago, we had mentioned this red dash line here. We'd like to see that become your new resistance right here, with targets just barely showing here at 3776. The market has come halfway between the 38 and the 3776 right here to 3788, halfway between the targets. So we're looking for the push to the downside. There's not a whole lot of momentum in either direction. So either you're short with a small profit locked in, or you're long with a very small profit locked in. Okay, here we are. It's about 5 to 1. 5 o'clock running, 12:55 and 51 seconds running. The market has broken out slightly to the downside, and what we did is we took and put a light black line on that support and resistance area. So what we'd like to do is have that retested, and the market has retested it and said, hey, so far I'm retesting at a resistance to the bottom side. So if they come up and tag the 37.88, that's fine. Next target here, and we'll show you the next one's down. But what we want to see right here, what happens on the far right hand side is, and we'll just copy this, that this here support area now becomes a resistance area, and that would be support becoming resistance. So support and resistance, and that would indicate our resistance ceiling is still continuing to drop. And there's the retest to 37.88, right? 37.88 right there. Now that takes out this here little high, but they haven't taken out the low yet. So we just read this here for what it's worth and just lock in your profits to the downside. Targets are still in force for the downside. The MACD has indicated that it's willing to trade below the zero. So we want to see the black histogram part, and we're going to just take a zoom in part of that histogram. We want to see this area up here where the black part of the histogram, we want to see that black drop below the zero. And I'll move the crosshairs. You can see the zeros. We want to see some black part of the histogram also drop down below. And then that way we know that, hey, we're off to the races once again. There's your 37.88, 9, Support and resistance. We want to now see this support area become the resistance. So hang on to the trade if you can. You're already in it. So it's easier to hang on to something that you already have than to start fresh. Okay, here we are. We wanted to see 37.63. The market gave us 62. We wanted to see 37.76. The market gave us that. Plus extra 6 ticks. That would bring us down to 70. The market has certainly done that. Hang on if you can. If you're just starting to get into this trade, you're getting in where other people are starting to take money off. Imagine. Okay, we wanted to see the support area. The MACD said, hey, look for support. And then we wanted to see the histogram start down below 0. Now, we moved this here ellipse over. I'll see if I can grab a hold of that ellipse. We had it over here. We said, hey, we wanted to see the black part of the histogram. Well, the market has given us that. The black part is now below 0. I want to use this same ellipse and just point out the cross to the downside. Now we want to see some divergence come in and really push us down to our next target of 37.45. What are we going to look for down there? We're going to look for a possible exhaustion. So this here becomes management, right? Your management skills must kick in to manage the trade. All right. Pretty good targets. So a minute and 23 seconds left to go with this here price action candle. Can they make it down to 37.45? Of course they can. What we've done in the past just a couple of minutes is we extended this here little blue arrow across the chart at 37.63. I'll move the crosshairs. You can see a light blue. We wanted to see that. We just talked about it in the room here. We want to see that become the new resistance, and we wanted to see the market test it. The market did test it. It did what we need it to do. We're trying to hang on to a winning trade to the downside. We have a target of 37.45, and we'll look for more if the market will give it to us. If the market comes against us, we will gracefully exit. Keep that in mind. It's not always so easy to do. All right, here we are in the room. It is now 1:37. Were you as graceful as I was in exiting the trade with your stops? Stops locking you in money so you didn't give it all back. We'll sneak this here support and resistance line across. There must become a time that it's too much to give back. You must trade your plan. Gracefully exit when the trade goes against you, even if you're that close to your target. Within 5 ticks, it's still better to put something in your pocket and then decide to re-enter, sit it out, go play around the golf or throw snowballs, whatever the case may be. Till next time, trade well, my friends.